Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys have had a wonderful week. So I'm jumping right in just to show you how I achieved this kind of amber, red, brown, I don't even know what the words to describe it, color. So I'm using 30 volume developer and the VR bleaching powder. This blue powder kind of makes the hair more of like a copper brassy tone than it does like kind of like that whitish bleached tone. But I definitely probably won't be using this bleach again just because it did blanch my skin every time it touched it. So I'm using World New Hair. When I tell you that, you know, this was really like a shot in the dark, hoping this hair would come in nicely. But then I tell you this is like the softest curly hair I have ever seen. It was truly amazing, and I didn't know how it would do with like bleaching and color and everything, but it definitely held up well. The curls stayed intact. I just created kind of a bleach bath, not as watery as you probably would see in other videos, but kind of more of like a paste, and kind of just rub that through the hair, not really with any, you know, technique or pattern. And then as I let it sit for a little while, it started drying pretty quickly, so I went in with my Aussie Miracle Moist and Shimmer Lights Purple Shampoo, kind of to tone that down and just to rinse it out, the bleach out. So I'm using 3 colors, the Rich Amber, Copper Brown, and Sienna Brown. Because this hair did not bleach as white, I probably should have just left the Rich Amber out because I was going for more of a copper brown color than a red brown. But it's okay, the color still turned out beautiful. The water was too hot, so you just see me pouring in just a regular bottle of water. And what I'm doing here is kind of just testing out the colors on a piece of paper, just to see how they turn out. This is better than just, you know, pouring into the water and just hoping for the best, which is kind of still what I did at the end of the day, of pouring it into the water and hoping for the best. But the Sienna Brown and the Rich Amber were really similar, more similar than I was expecting. So it became a lot darker and a lot redder than I was hoping for. And I probably should have just stopped right then and just headed on back to the beauty supply store and got probably like a cinnamon color. But, you know, do now, think later type of vibe that I be on sometimes. But I only used half of the Rich Amber and the full bottles of everything else. Definitely the Copper Brown. You can probably just use Copper Brown and it would have turned out beautiful, especially with the way that the hair bleached. I didn't let it bleach for too long on purpose, but that color alone would have been beautiful as well. I love playing around with color. I was just so excited for spring. I'm like, I have to have color or else I will not be satisfied. So I came down to the kitchen to do this just because I had more space and I didn't want to dye my whole bathtub, which ended up happening anyway when I was rinsing it out. And I wanted to give you guys some better visuals. So here you just see me dipping this hair into this hot watercolor bath. I really tried not to tint the lace, but it was kind of unavoidable just because I didn't use proper techniques in preventing. I put a little bit of Vaseline, but it still was not enough to prevent the lace from tinting red. But it all worked out in the end. And I would just probably do some more research on how to prevent the lace from tinting. I was just scared of putting too much product on the lace, like the videos I was seeing with like the huge amounts of gel and got to be glued. I'm like, would the wig even stick to my head anymore if I put that much product on it? So don't just mind how I look. So we interrupt the usually scheduled program of me watercoloring the hair, and this is the second time this has happened when I've been trying to achieve a certain color that it ends up being more red than I want it to be, more like copper brown. And I was afraid of getting too much of an orange cinnamon color that I went with a Rich Amber instead, and I probably should have just stuck to the ginger. So I am on my dash to the beauty supply store to try to see what can neutralize the red. I remember this same thing happened on my natural hair about 2 years ago, where I was trying to get like a chestnut brown color and I ended up with a burgundy. So in order for me to get, not rid of the burgundy, but neutralize it to where like it brought it down, I had to put a blonde on top. Mind you, there is no probably blonde watercolor thing. I would have to probably bleach again, which sounds like a terrible idea because the hair is withstanding really well with all the dyeing and processing anyway. So I'm thinking of maybe doing like a really orange color or even like a brown, just to cancel out the red. I don't know. I'm scared that it's going to be too dark and the whole point of dyeing it is going to be completely pointless and I'm going to be back to square one of black. But I did not feel like throwing on another crusty wig just to go to the beauty supply store. And black girl code, if I look like this, we all know that the magic is about to happen sooner or later. So wish me luck, guys. As you can see, I am back from the beauty supply store. I picked up this honey brown, thinking it was actually going to do something. But guys, when it comes to red, red is such a strong color, red, amber, that is really hard to kind of get rid of that color if you're going to try to like just change it from a red, which I might do later on. I'll probably just go with the plain brown, but it's going to be really hard to get lighter from that red. This hair color did make it lighter, but it did not get rid of the red. It did not change it into like a copper or like a copper brown. It just made it a brighter red color, which is okay. It's fine at the end of the day. It's still, I just wanted colored hair that was pretty, and at the end of the day, this actually ended up coming out really well, and the color really suited me. So if you're trying to go for this color, definitely just do rich amber, copper brown, and sienna brown, or do 2 copper browns and half a bottle of rich amber. You will get around the same color or even more brown. Depending on what you want, you add more of. So if you want more of a red, you go in with a full bottle of rich amber. If you want more of a brown, probably go in with 2 copper browns and 1 rich amber. And you really only need about 2 to 3 bottles. You don't need a whole bunch unless it's a really big head of hair. This is how the wig came out. This is the color. It's like kind of like a ginger red. I wouldn't say it's like all the way burgundy, but I think it's cute. It's not really the color I was going for, but I still like it regardless. And it reminds me of like that Disney Princess Brave. That's what it reminds me of. So I did end up tinting the lace by accident. I thought I could avoid it, but I couldn't. So in the future, I have to find new ways of not tinting my lace. I'm not gonna pluck it because the hair is already pretty thin in the front, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. I'm doing the ball cap method off camera just because I'm still learning how to put on wigs, so I don't want y'all to see me struggling on camera. So yeah. As you guys just saw me, I said that, you know, since I'm still learning, I kind of just didn't want to be y'all watch me struggle on camera trying to apply this lace. But I did do the ball cap method, and I'm actually pretty proud of myself with how this turned out, because what lace? So yeah, it came out really nicely, and I'm really proud of myself, honestly, for this, because it was like a growth curve. I wanted to be able to learn how to do this by myself when it was just something quick. So I'm right now, and I'm just taking out some hairs for my baby hairs. So I'm using a razor just to cut that down. And I don't cut it too short, just in case I want to ever go back in and make them shorter or do something different with the baby hairs. It gives me enough, you know, playroom. So I'm just going in with like a foam mousse just to lay the edges down, and I go in with a little bit of edge control on the edges just so it can like just really stay in place, and it smells really good, so I like using it. And the edge control I use is the Edge Booster, or the Edge Boost Extreme Hold, but I go in with a very minuscule amount. because I just don't want my edges to be stiff. But the mousse does a good enough job. It's just that it tends to move around, and kind of just want it to stay in place and stay firm. You can see I got a little bit of glue on the hair, so I was just trying to get that out. This hair it didn't say it came pre-plucked, but it does seem like it came pre-plucked, so I didn't even bother plucking the front just because it was already pretty thin. This hair was about 180 density, and I'm not a huge fan of like really big hair, so I didn't mind it being a little bit on the thinner side. I just tied that elastic band around my hair just to hold down the edges. So I just left some clips in here of me doing my makeup, and yeah. Guys, do you see that I got my nose re-pierced? I was so happy about it, and I've been wanting to do it for a really long time, so it just makes me feel like a bad gal. And I'm just happy I got it back. It was very spontaneous. I literally just woke up one morning and was like, I guess it's time for us to go get this done. So just drove to a piercing shop and was like, let's do it. So I'm just defining the part of the hair. Like I said, I think it came like with the already made side part. So when I tried off camera to get it into the middle part, it kind of just looked funny once I was bigger than the other. And I just did not feel like going in and plucking. And I just think this hair looks better side part anyway. But on camera, it does look a little bit more like brown. In person, it is a lot more red. But like I said, the color is beautiful regardless. So if you want this color, definitely do what I did. So I'm just going in with some Shea Moisture Curl Defining Conditioner and some Wet and Wavy Spritz. Later on, I ended up going to the store and buying some Dove Amplified Texture Shaping Buttercream. And it's so much better than the Shea Moisture. And then I also got some Hawaiian Silky Miracle Worker, the 14-in-1. And I think those two products work amazing for curly hair and curly hairstyle, so I definitely recommend getting those two products for curly weave or curly hair. My Shea Moisture was almost finished, and I'm not a fan of Shea Moisture anyway, even if it is for fake hair. But yeah. So here you see me just spritzing it down with the Wet and Wavy, and then I'm going to just go in with my spray bottle and just spritz each section, going section by section with the spray bottle. And in the spray bottle is just water with a little bit of conditioner mixed inside. So if you don't go section by section, if you have the time to, do go section by section, because it helps prevent from just like one side drying faster than the other and it becoming really big and poofy. And like I said, I do not like big hair. So going back section by section helps like to evenly moisturize everything out. Kind of give that wet hair look and let that wet hair look last a little bit longer. So the hair looks really dark on camera, but it's really showing out. It looks really good, and this hair really did withstand the bleaching and the hot water and the hot water baths, and I really do love this hair. So I would recommend this hair to a friend or other people to try them out, because it was really good. And this video isn't sponsored. Nobody paid me to do this. I bought this with my own money. And it's really, really pretty. I got this hair in the 22 inches. It actually seems a lot longer than 22 inches. I've honestly never had hair this long, but you know, it's curly hair and I don't mind. It's summertime. It's time to look like a hot girl, okay? No more 18 inches for the summer. We gotta go big or go home. So, wow. Okay, I see you, Tutu. Come see Fine Babe. Look at here. Well, guys, that is all for today's video. The hair looks amazing. I look amazing. I love how the color turned out. If you want to try to achieve this color, definitely look in the description box below. definitely pay attention to this video. So I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.